right, we're going to call the joint meeting of the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors and the Pittsylvania County Industrial Development Board Authority to order Thursday, January 4th, 2018, 5:30 p.m. in County Administrative Building. Roll call, Ms. Flippin. Yeah, Ms. Flippin for the Board of Supervisors.
I'm here. Mr. Scares?
Here.
Dr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Present.
Mr. Farmer?
Here.
Mr. Barber?
Here.
Mr. Blackstock?
Present.
Mr. Warren?
Here.
We have Ms. Robertson who's going to do it for the IDA.
Okay.
Mr. Haymore?
Here.
Mr. Height?
Here.
Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. McMahon?
Here.
Mr. Mann?
Here.
Dr. Fawcett?
Yes.
Are the items to be added to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I have 3 items to add to the agenda. Item 4B, resolution in support of an application for the FY 2018 Tobacco Commission Southern Area Economic Development Grants Program for a 100,000 square foot shell building. And item 5B and 5C in closed session. I make a motion to approve the agenda with the following items added as 5 items, 5B, 5C, along with 4B. Discussion or consideration of the investment of public funds for a competition or bargaining is involved where it made public initially the financial interest of the governmental unit would be adversely affected. Legal authority, Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A6. Subject matter, project calcium. Purpose, discussion of potential building purchase letter of intent. Item 5C, discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the business or industry's interest in locating or expanding its facilities in the community. Legal authority, Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A5. Subject matter, project panel. Purpose, economic development. Project status update.
Thank you, Mr. Blackstock. Seconded by Mr. Barber. Any discussion? All in favor of amending the agenda, raise your right hands. It's unanimous. Now can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I make a second.
Motion made by Mr. Blackstock, seconded by Mr. Davis. All in favor of approving the agenda, raise your right hands. It's unanimous.
Sorry about that. I was just trying to move
Move forward.
Gas.
I agree.
I don't want the gas to freeze in my car. I want to get home tonight.
New business. Letter of support for SSED grant, Southern Virginia Regional Transportation Project. Mr. Hunt.
Yes.
Mr. Rowe.
Yeah, Mr. Rowe, are you doing the transportation project?
I can, or Brett, would you like to do that? It's up to you.
Well, what we know about this project, it's a joint application by Pittsylvania County, City of Danville, and Halifax County for a regional transportation project that would link northern Pittsylvania County and the Gretna area down to Danville, and then Danville to South Boston and Halifax. This board has already supported, the Board of Supervisors already supported a letter of support and resolution to the Tobacco Commission. The applicant for this project has also asked that the IDA approve a letter of support. So we felt like the letter of support, I think, has been prepared, and if you can authorize that or approve that tonight, that'll go immediately to the Tobacco Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Sides. Do you have a copy of the letter so they can read it?
You have a copy of it?
No.
Okay.
I think what we're looking for is just for a board approval as far as for us to come up with a letter to send on your behalf.
Well, we approved it.
We've already done it.
We've done ours. It's just a matter of you all are willing to authorize them to do a letter for people to see and read.
If y'all want to approve it, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and accept it too. If you all put y'all. So you want to have a second? Sorry. There's no heartburn about this, and we're meeting again on the 18th, and we'll have a copy of the letter for you on the 18th, and I'll push it out by email tomorrow.
There's no cost to the county.
No cost.
No.
It was only one question, and the question was that during the proposal was presented to the board that the line was going in Gretna. I I told them it was 15 more miles to the end of the county. So I'd like to know if that changed.
But we made your comment aware to the, where they go, Betty's.
House outside of
Anyhow.
education for hiring.
98, you got a motion, all in favor, raise your right hand.
I'd like to make one comment about this. One of the big advocates and pushers of this thing has been because there's so many complaints about transportation and it hindering workforce development and all that. And that's kind of how this came about. The grants came about to pay for it and all that. So we'll have an opportunity to see if it works before we have to start spending any of our own money somewhere down the road. So this is spending somebody else's money for a while. And hopefully we can get them in that other 15 miles. That's how Mr. Farmer can fly, because it's getting to him.
They was told to do it right once.
Okay, need a motion to go into closed session.
Before we do that, we got to tackle 4B, which we added, which
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
I'm
resolution.
sorry.
And Mr. Rowe is going to walk us through this.
4B is a resolution to the Southside Economic Development Committee of the BAC Commission. I'm just going to read the resolution out loud so that way everybody can hear it. And we're looking for a motion in favor of this.
Now, explain why we have to do this
We have to-
right now, why the timing is.
The timing is key to this because of the fact that the committee that will make its decision on this meets on the 8th with the final commission approval hopefully coming on the 9th of January. And, you know, obviously this is something that the county, I think, has been willing to consider for some time, and we believe that the time is correct to now do that. So, resolution in support of an application for the FY 2018 Tobacco Commission Southern Area Economic Development Grants Program for a 100,000 square foot shell building. Whereas Pittsylvania County has been impacted by the decline of the tobacco industry, causing a negative impact on economic development and growth throughout the county. And whereas the Tobacco Region Revitalization Commission has developed a Southern Area Economic Development Grant Program to help tobacco-related localities to change and revitalize their economy. And whereas grants from the Tobacco Region Revitalization Commission will assist Pittsylvania County in transforming its economy to replace the decline in the tobacco agribusiness community, then be it hereby resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Pittsylvania County fully supports the grant application to the FY 2018 Southern Area Economic Development Grant Program for a 100,000 square foot shell building construction for advanced and manufacturing prospects in Pittsylvania County, and authorizes the county administrator to execute the application on behalf of the board and meet the requirements of the grant and its administration, given under my hand this 4th day of January 2018. Board of Supervisors Chairman Robert Moore.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution 2018-01-01.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Blackstock, seconded by Mr. Davis. Any discussion?
Matt, is this just a generic location, or we have a location identified?
We have a location identified.
Okay. And what would be the cost of the county on this?
Right now, we are looking at as far as the match coming from private funds.
Okay.
This just allows us to tap into tobacco commission.
Right.
Any other questions?
Yes.
I'd just like to make a comment. It's not anything negative for the staff, but in the future, I think anything that comes like this before the board, we need some kind of summary in our packet so we know what's going on. In this case, we dealt with situations like this before, but it would be nice to have a summary in the packet.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Close session.
Chairman, I make a motion that we enter into closed session. We'll get this right here. for consultation with legal counsel and briefings by staff members or consultants pertaining to actual probable litigation where such consultation or briefing in open meeting would adversely affect the negotiating or litigating posture of the public body, and consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by the public body regarding specific legal matters requiring provision of legal advice by such counsel. Legal authority, Virginia Code 2.2-3711A7, subject matter Project Apple, purpose discussion of potential economic development incentive package. I guess I need to go on through the other two again.
Yes, sir.
Discussion or consideration, item 5B, discussion or consideration of the investment of public funds where competition or bargaining is involved, or if made publicly initially, the financial interest of the governmental unit would be adversely affected. Legal authority, Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A6, subject matter Project Calcium, purpose discussion of potential building purchase, letter of intent. Item 5C, discussion concerning prospective business or industry or expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the business or industry's interest in locating or expanding in its facilities in the community. Legal authority, Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A5, subject matter Project Panel, purpose economic development project status update.
Motion made by Mr. Blackstock, seconded by Mr. Barber. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Flippin.
Mr. Scares?
Yes.
Dr. Miller? Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Farmer?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
We'll need the IDA to make a motion in a second as well.
Need a motion, go into closed session?
We need to read
We
all
need to
first.
read this.
So moved.
Need a second?
Can I have a second?
Second.
All right, roll call. Mr. Robinson?
Mr. Haymore?
Yes.
Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Mann?
Yes.
Dr. Fawcett?
Yes.
All right, we in closed session.
All right, do we have a motion to return to open session by the board?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second? Show of hands to return to open session. Do we have a motion to return to open session by the IDA?
So moved.
Second? Show of hands. All right, Brenda, Rebecca, will you do the certification, or do you want me to do it? Okay, I'll do it. All right. Board of Supervisors hereby certifies that they went into closed session under the proper Virginia Code section, and no matters were discussed in closed session that were not lawful. If any Board of Supervisor member so believes that we have deviated from the law, please state now, and it will be entered into the minutes. At this time, there will be a roll call for Ms. Flippin. If you agree that we went into closed session for the proper reason, we stayed on task, just say yes or aye.
Mr. Scares?
Yes.
Dr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Farmer?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
And Mr. Warren?
Yes.
All right, Brenda will now do the same thing we just did for the IDA.
The IDA closed meeting certification, be it resolved at the meeting of the Pittsylvania County Industrial Development Authority on Thursday, January 4th, 2018. The IDA board members hereby certified by recorded vote that the best of each board member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act and identified in the motion authorizing the closed meeting were heard, discussed, and considered in the closed meeting. If any member believes that there was a departure from the requirements of the code, shall state so prior to the vote indicating the substance of the departure. The statement shall be recorded in the IDA minutes. Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Mann?
Yes.
Mr. Haymore?
Yes.
Dr. Fawcett?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the performance agreement for Project Apple. I'll move that the Board of Supervisors, along with the IDA, approve the performance agreement for Project Apple, which will result in significant job creation and investment in Pittsylvania County, while enhancing and supporting our existing workforce program.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Farmer, seconded by Mr. Blackstock. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hands.
All right, do we have the same motion for the IDA? Can I have a motion for the IDA? Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Show of hands who support the motion. And you need to recess the
Okay.
meeting.
I declare the meeting, a joint meeting of the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors and the Pittsylvania County Industrial Development Authority recessed to Secretary's announcement, January 10th, 2018, at 11 a.m., Old Dominion Agricultural Complex, 19783 U.S. 29, Chatham, Virginia, 24531. Thank you.